I caught my wife read HANDED siphoning our life savings to run off with some Costa RICA and Gigolo. Hey Reddit, so I'm Ethan, 36, architect, and apparently a world-class idiot. Always thought I had the perfect life, loving parents, great career, amazing wife named Clara. We were equals, or so I thought. She always had this way of making me feel naive, like my optimism was a weakness. Looking back, maybe it was. We've been married 8 years. 8 years, and I never suspected a thing, always trusted her implicitly. My parents raised me to be trusting, to see the good in people. Guess that backfired spectacularly. Lately, I've had this nagging feeling like something was off. Just brushed it off as stress, long hours at work. But now I know it was my gut screaming at me. So, how did I find out my wife was basically Bonnie to some dude's Clyde? Let's just say late night work and an open laptop can lead to some unbelievable discoveries. Should I even bother confronting her? It was Tuesday, raining. I was working late on a proposal trying to land this huge contract. Clara was supposedly at a work dinner. I went to grab her laptop to look up something, some zoning regulation, and there it was. Her email was open. A new message flashed across the screen. Transfer confirmed. Costa Rica condo closing next week. Can't wait to see you meet Amber, Marco. My blood ran cold. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. Costa Rica, condo, Marco, who the hell was Marco? I scrolled through the email thread. It was all there. The wire transfers, our life savings. Gone, just gone. They were planning this. For God, KNOWS, how long? I think I actually made a noise, some strangled gasp. I felt sick, dizzy. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold the laptop. 8 years. We built a life together, or so I thought. It was all a lie, a meticulously crafted, soul-crushing lie. I stumbled back, collapsing into my chair. I just stared at the screen, rereading the emails over and over as if somehow they would magically change. As if this was all some horrible, twisted dream. But it wasn't a dream. It was my reality. And it was a nightmare. I don't even know how long I sat there just numb. Then the rage hit. Hot, blinding rage. I wanted to scream, to break something, to I don't even know. I felt betrayed, violated. But mostly I felt like an idiot. How could I have been so blind, so like a moron? I tried to play it cool. I waited until the next morning, pretending everything was normal. Made her breakfast, even though I felt like throwing up. My hands were still shaking. Morning, sleepyhead, she said, all bright and cheery, like she hadn't just robbed me blind. I wanted to punch her in her perfectly made-up face. Morning, I managed, my voice tight. How was your work dinner? Oh, it was fine, she said, waving her hand dismissively. Just the usual boring stuff, client schmoozing. She smiled. I swear, I almost lost it right then and there. I took a deep breath. Heard from Sarah and Tom recently. They got scammed out of a bunch of money, some offshore investment thing. Subtle, right? Like a sledgehammer wrapped in tissue paper. Clara laughed, actually laughed. Oh, those two, always falling for get-rich-quick schemes. You'd think they'd know better by now. My stomach churned. Yeah, you'd think, I muttered. What's with the sudden interest in financial scams? She asked, her eyes narrowing slightly. Just, thinking about the future, I stammered. Making sure we're protected. She reached across the table and took my hand. Her touch felt cold, repulsive. Don't worry your pretty little head about it, Ethan, she said, her voice dripping with condescension. I've got everything under control. Control. Right, she had everything under control. My money, my life, my future. All under her perfectly manicured thumb. Later that day I tried again. So work's been crazy busy, I said casually. Might need to dip into savings soon for stuff. Oh honey, she said, patting my arm. You worry too much, everything's fine, don't you trust me? Don't you trust me? Are you kidding me? My chest tightened. I could feel the anger bubbling up again. Of course I trust you, I lied, I had to. I needed more time, more proof, but inside I was screaming. This wasn't normal. This wasn't how a loving wife acted. This was something else entirely, something sinister. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the conversation in my head, her words echoing in my ears. Don't you trust me? Everything's fine. Don't worry your pretty little head. The gaslighting was so blatant, so obvious, that it made me sick. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just a disagreement. This wasn't a normal marital spat. This was something far more insidious. I was being played, manipulated, and I had been for God knows how long. A week later and things have gone from bad to nuclear. The gaslighting has intensified and now she's brought in the cavalry, her mother. Apparently I'm overstressed, imagining things, and need to take a vacation. Vacation. Like a vacation will magically erase the fact that she's draining our joint account and planning a new life with some random dude in Costa Rica. My mother-in-law, bless her heart not, called me this morning. Ethan dear, she started, her voice dripping with fake concern. Clara tells me you've been a bit unwell lately. Unwell, unwell. I'm about to lose my mind and she calls me unwell. I gritted my teeth. I'm fine, Mrs. Peterson, I said, trying to keep my voice even. Oh honey, she said, her voice taking on a condescending tone. Clara is worried about you. She says you've been acting paranoid, accusing her of things. Accusing her of things? She's literally stealing my money. I'm just concerned about our finances, I said, carefully choosing my words. Oh, Ethan, she sighed. You always were such a worrier. Clara has everything under control. You need to trust her. Trust her. Are you kidding me? This is exactly what Clara said. They're tag teaming me. This is insane. I just think it's important to be aware of our financial situation, I said, trying to remain calm. Ethan, she said, her voice sharper now. You're stressing Clara out. She's working so hard and you're making her life difficult with these accusations. You need to stop. Stop, stop. She's asking me to stop questioning her daughter robbing me blind. I couldn't take it anymore. Mrs. Peterson, I said, my voice rising. I appreciate your concern, but this is between Clara and me. Oh, honey, she said, her voice dripping with condescension. You're just being silly. Clara would never do anything to hurt you. She loves you. Loves me, loves me. If she loved me, she wouldn't be planning a new life with Marco in Costa Rica. I hung up. I just hung up. I couldn't listen to another second of her gaslighting bullshit. My hands were shaking. My head was pounding. I felt like I was going to explode. This isn't normal. This isn't just a marital dispute. This is a full-blown conspiracy. They're trying to make me think I'm crazy. They're trying to discredit me. And it's working. I'm starting to doubt myself. I'm starting to question my own sanity. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I can barely function. I'm a mess. I'm jumping at shadows. Every little noise, every creak in the house makes me think she's there, watching me, plotting her next move. This has to stop. I need to take action. I need to protect myself. This isn't just about the money anymore. This is about my sanity, my future, my life. I'm not going to let them win. I'm not. I needed to talk to someone, anyone. I was losing my grip. So I called Maya, my best friend since college. She's a lawyer, sharp as a tack, and doesn't take crap from anyone. I hesitated at first. This was insane. Would she even believe me? Maya, it's Ethan, I said, my voice shaking. I need to talk to you. Something's wrong. Ethan, what's going on? You sound terrible. I took a deep breath. It's Clara. She's leaving me. Leaving you? What? How do you know? I saw her emails. She's been siphoning money from our joint account. She's bought a condo in Costa Rica with some guy named Marco. There was a silence on the other end, a long, stunned silence. Then, Ethan, are you serious? Dead serious. I saw the wire transfers, the emails, everything. Holy shit, she breathed. Costa Rica. Is this some kind of joke? I wish it was, I said, my voice cracking. But it's not, it's real, and it gets worse. She's been gaslighting me, telling me I'm stressed, paranoid, imagining things. Her mother's in on it too. They're both trying to make me think I'm crazy. Another silence. Then, Ethan, this is serious. You need to protect yourself. I know, I said, feeling a flicker of hope. Someone believed me, finally. But I don't know what to do. First things first, Maya said, her voice firm. You need to document everything. Print out those emails, get copies of your bank statements, everything. Don't confront her yet, not until you have proof. Proof, I have the emails. It's a start, but you need more. This isn't just a divorce, Ethan. This is fraud, embezzlement. You need to treat it like a crime scene. A crime scene. That thought hadn't even occurred to me. I was so focused on the betrayal, the emotional devastation, that I hadn't even considered the legal ramifications. I don't even know where to start, I stammered. I do, Maya said. I'll help you. We'll find a good pie. Someone who can dig deeper, find out more about this Marco guy, and we'll get you a lawyer. Someone who specializes in these kinds of cases. A pie, a lawyer. This was getting real, and it felt good, empowering, like I was finally taking control. Thank you, Maya, I said, my voice choked with emotion. I don't know what I'd do without you. Don't mention it, she said. You're not alone in this. We'll get through this together. And Ethan, this isn't your fault. Don't let them make you think it is. This is on her. She's the one who broke the vows, who betrayed your trust. You deserve better. Her, she was the one, not me. That simple statement, that validation, hit me like a ton of bricks. It was like a weight had been lifted off my chest. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't imagining things. I was the victim here. Talking to Maya changed everything. It shifted my perspective. I wasn't just a heartbroken husband anymore. I was a victim of a crime, and I was going to fight back. Okay, Reddit, strap in, because this is where the shit really hit the fan. I was already a wreck, barely sleeping, constantly looking over my shoulder, feeling like I was losing my mind. Maya, my amazing friend, was helping me gather evidence, talking to a pie the whole 9 yards. I felt like I was finally getting some traction, some semblance of control back in my life. Then came the final, brutal blow. The pie called me. Ethan, I've got some news on Marco, he said, his voice grim. It's not good. My heart pounded in my chest. What is it? He's got a history, long one, fraud, embezzlement, romance scams. He targets wealthy women, gets close to them, drains their accounts, and disappears. He's done this before, multiple times. Multiple times, this wasn't just a fling gone wrong. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. This was a predatory pattern. Clara wasn't just complicit, she was a willing participant, she knew what he was, and she still went along with it. He's a professional con artist, the pie continued. And from what I've uncovered, Clara has been funneling money into a separate account for years. Small amounts, almost undetectable. She's been planning this for a long time. Years, a secret account. This wasn't just about Costa Rica anymore. This was about a systematic, calculated deception that had been going on right under my nose for years. Years of lies. Years of fake smiles and empty promises. Years of me being a complete and utter fool. I felt a wave of nausea wash over me. I had to sit down. My legs felt weak. My hands trembled. This wasn't just betrayal. This was a betrayal of epic proportions. That was it. The final straw. The last shred of hope, the last lingering doubt, vanished in that moment. The woman I loved, the woman I trusted with my life, was a con artist, a thief, a liar, and I had been nothing but a pawn in her twisted game. Something inside me snapped. The pain, the confusion, the self-doubt, it all morphed into a cold, hard rage. I wasn't a victim anymore, I was a survivor, and I was going to fight back. My vision narrowed. My breathing became shallow. I could feel the anger coursing through my veins, a burning fire in my chest. This wasn't about the money anymore, it was about justice. It was about reclaiming my life, my dignity, my self-respect. I knew what I had to do, I had to expose her. I had to make her pay. Not just for the money, but for the lies, the manipulation, the years of stolen trust. I called Maya. I know what we have to do, I said, my voice shaking with a newfound resolve. We're going to take her down. And that, Reddit, is how I went from heartbroken husband to vengeful warrior. Stay tuned. This is just the beginning. Alright, Reddit, you wanted an update, you're gonna get one. After the pie's bombshell, I knew I couldn't just sit back and let Clara waltz off into the Costa Rican sunset with my life savings. This wasn't just about the money anymore, it was about principle. It was about justice. I was going to expose her for the manipulative, lying snake she was. First things first, damage control. Maya, my legal eagle BFF, hooked me up with a divorce lawyer who specializes in high-net-worth individuals. Never thought I'd need one of those. He was expensive but worth every penny. He immediately started the process of freezing our joint accounts. It was a race against time, but we managed to secure a significant portion of our assets before Clara could get her greedy little hands on them. Checkmate, Clara. Next, evidence. I printed out every single email, every bank statement, every suspicious transaction. I even went back through old photos and messages, looking for clues I might have missed. I felt like a goddamn detective, piecing together the puzzle of my own destruction. Turns out she'd been dropping hints for years, little comments disguised as jokes, subtle digs at my naivete. Looking back, it was all so obvious. I was so blinded by love, or maybe just plain stupidity, that I missed it all. Then came the real stroke of genius, if I do say so myself. Maya suggested we set a trap. A beautiful, elaborate trap designed to catch Clara red-handed. We knew she was planning to make one final, massive transfer before skipping town. So we let her think she was succeeding. We let her think I was out of town on a business trip. Thanks for the cover, David, my brother. We even planted a fake itinerary on my desk, just to make it extra convincing. We wanted her to feel confident, to feel like she had won. Little did she know, we were watching her every move. The pie installed hidden cameras in our house. I know it felt creepy, violating, but I needed proof. Irrefutable, undeniable proof. And we got it. We got her on camera transferring the money, talking to Marco on the phone, packing her bags, the whole shebang. It was sickening to watch, but also incredibly satisfying. We got YOU, bitch. While all this was happening, I was preparing myself mentally and emotionally. This wasn't just a legal battle, it was a war. A war for my sanity, my future, my very soul. I started seeing a therapist, someone who could help me process the trauma, the betrayal, the sheer mind fuckery of it all. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. I needed to be strong. I needed to be ready. I also reached out to my family, my real family, the ones who actually loved and supported me. My parents, my brother, my closest friends. They rallied around me, offering emotional support, practical help, and the occasional stiff drink. They reminded me that I wasn't alone, that I wasn't crazy, that I deserved better. Their love and support was a lifeline, a beacon of hope in the darkness. So there you have it, Reddit, my battle plan. My revenge plot, my road to redemption. I was no longer the naive, trusting fool Clara had taken advantage of. I was a warrior, armed with evidence, legal counsel, and a burning desire for justice. I was ready for the confrontation. I was ready to take back my life. Stay tuned for the next update. It's gonna be epic. Okay, Reddit, buckle up. This is it, the main event, the climactic showdown. The setting, our living room, the very place where we'd built what I thought was a life together. Present, me, Clara, and two suitcases packed tighter than a clown car at a convention. The tension was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Clara was practically radiating smugness. "Oh, Ethan," she purred, giving me a condescending smile. "You're home early. How was your business trip?" I just stared at her, letting the silence hang in the air, then I dropped the bomb. "It was enlightening, Clara, enlightening to see just how meticulously you planned to screw me over." Her smile faltered. "What are you talking about?" she asked, her voice a little too high-pitched. "Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about," I said, my voice cold and steady. "Costa Rica, Marco, the condo, the money." Her eyes widened just a fraction. I don't know what you're talking about," she stammered, but the color was draining from her face. I pulled out the stack of papers, the evidence I'd painstakingly gathered with Maya and the pie. Bank statements, emails, photos, the whole damn enchilada. I tossed them onto the coffee table. "I think you do," I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "Unless you've forgotten about your little offshore adventure." She stared at the papers, her face a mask of disbelief. Where did you get this?" she whispered. "That's not important," I said, stepping closer. "What is important is that I know everything. Every lie, every deception, every stolen penny." That's when the power shifted. I could see it in her eyes. The smugness was gone, replaced by fear. Pure, unadulterated fear. "Ethan, she started, but I cut her off. "Don't," I said, my voice rising. "Don't even try to lie to me anymore. It's over, Clara, it's all over." She started to cry, those crocodile tears I'd fallen for so many times before. "Ethan, please," she sobbed. "I love you, I never meant to hurt you." "Love me?" I roared. "You were stealing from me, lying to me, planning to abandon me. That's not love, Clara, that's betrayal." She flinched, her eyes darting around the room, looking for an escape. But there was none, I had her trapped. "Who is he, Clara?" I asked, my voice low and dangerous. "Who the hell is Marco?" She didn't answer, just kept sobbing, her body shaking. I knew then that she wasn't sorry for what she'd done. She was sorry she got caught. "You know what the worst part is, Clara," I said, my voice shaking with anger. "I actually believed you. I trusted you, I gave you everything. And you threw it all away. For what? For some Costa Rica and Gigolo." I showed her the separate account I had made in the last few weeks. "This," I said, "is what's left of our money. Yours is long gone, and I'm taking you to court for every penny you stole." Her face crumpled. The tears were real now, tears of panic, of desperation. The mask had fallen, and I finally saw her for who she really was, a selfish, manipulative liar, and it was liberating. "I loved you, Clara, I said, my voice cracking, "but I don't know who you are anymore." She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out, just a strangled gasp. She knew she was beaten. She knew her game was up. And in that moment, I felt a surge of satisfaction, of triumph that I hadn't felt in months. I had taken back my power. I had exposed her lies. I had won. That's it for now, Reddit. The fallout is still ongoing, the divorce is messy, but I'll keep you updated. Thanks for all the support. It means more than you know. This community has been a lifeline. And Clara, let's just say karma's a bitch. A Costa Rican bitch in her case. It's been 6 months since the Costa Rican condo caper exploded, and wow, what a ride. The dust has mostly settled, but the aftershocks are still rippling. Let me give you the rundown, Reddit. Immediate aftermath, the fallout was nuclear. Clara tried to play the victim, the poor, misunderstood wife, but the evidence was overwhelming. The cameras, the emails, the Pies report, it was all there. Her family, who had initially sided with her, surprise, surprise, slowly started to backpedal as the truth came out. It was messy, public, and humiliating for her. Good. Resolution. The divorce was finalized a few months ago. Let's just say I didn't walk away empty-handed. Clara lost everything. The condo, the money she stole, her reputation. She's persona non grata in our social circle. Justice, albeit delayed, was SERVED. Turns out Marco, the love of her life, had already moved on to his next victim. Shocker. Clara was left with nothing but a mountain of legal fees and a one-way ticket back to her mother's house. By FELICIA, mixed outcomes. I'm still rebuilding financially and emotionally. Therapy has been a huge help. It's a process, but I'm getting there. I'm learning to trust myself again, to recognize red flags, to set healthy boundaries. I've also reconnected with friends and family, the people who actually have my back. Their support has been invaluable. I'm grateful for them every single day. Reactions. Some friends and family were shocked, others not so much. Turns out, a few people had suspected Clara's shady behavior for a while but were too afraid to say anything. I'm not mad at them. This whole experience has taught me the importance of speaking up, of trusting your gut. Personal growth. I'm a CHANGED man. I'm more cautious, more guarded, but also more resilient. I've learned that betrayal doesn't define me. I'm stronger than I ever thought possible. I'm also a hell of a lot smarter about who I trust. This whole ordeal has been a nightmare, a roller coaster of emotions, a crash course in human deception. But it's also been a wake-up call. I'm alive, I'm free, and I'm finally moving on. So Reddit, what do you think? Anyone else out there survive a similar betrayal? How did you cope? What did you learn? Let's hear it.